All righty, it's Monday night, Voiceover Body Shop on the air, or wherever it is that we go with this thing. We've got a great guest tonight, right? We're talking with John Kuehne is going to be our guest, along with Randy Brown from Vizzie Demos. And we got some interesting tech stuff to talk about too, right?
Yes, we do. And I'm coming all the way from Colorado today and joining you guys via the interwebs.
that interweb thing. All right, cool stuff.
It's a series of tubes.
That's right. Voiceover Body Shop coming up right now.
Two men, twin sons, with a passion for voiceover recording technology and the desire to make recording easy for voice actors everywhere. Together in one place, George Whittam, the home studio engineer to the stars, a Virginia Tech grad with an unmatched knowledge of all the latest gear and technology in voiceover today. Dan Leonard, the home studio master, a voice actor with over 30 years experience in broadcasting and recording, the no-holds-barred, myth-busting attitude for teaching you how easy it is. Together, finally, to bring you all the latest technology, the superstars of voiceover today, and leading the discussion on how to make the most of your voiceover business. This is Voiceover Body Shop.
Voiceover Body Shop is brought to you by VoiceOverEssentials.com, home of Harlan Hogan's signature products. Antsland Productions, where you can get a killer demo. Source Elements, who bring you Source Connect, Source Connect Live, and Source Connect Now. VoiceOver Extra, your one-stop site for voiceover resources. Vizzie Demos, your audio demo never looked so good. VO2GoGo.com, announcing Camera Ready You. VoiceOverView.com, your voiceover business made simple. And the VO Dojo. Take your voiceover career all the way.
And now, live from their super secret multimedia studio in Sherman Oaks, California, here are George Whittam and Dan Leonard.
Good evening. I'm Dan Leonard.
And I'm George Whittam.
And this is Voiceover
Body Shop.
or VOBS.
Yes.
All right. Woo-hoo. Well, I'm alone here in Sherman Oaks, not a soul around. No, actually, we got a studio full of people.
Old soul.
Let's take a look at that studio audience. Here we got Mark Cashman is here. And Everett Oliver and Jack Daniel, of course. You're all welcome to come here anytime you're in town. So, our guest tonight is going to be
everybody.
John Kuehne and Randy Brown from Vizzie Demos are going to be joining us in a little while, talking about Vizzie Demos. We need a band. See if Jean-Baptiste is available. And we've got tech questions, and we've got our chat room. And if you've got a question for us, a tech question, throw it into the chat room because we want your tech questions. But we got a couple that we're going to work on tonight as well. But if you've got a specific one, throw it out there so we can see it. Now, by the way, this morning on Facebook, somebody was, it was Jordan Reynolds, I think, was over at the Getty Museum, which is a beautiful museum. The artwork in it, But it's a beautiful museum with a nice fountain and and a stream and all that stuff, and it overlooks the city of Los Angeles. But there's a lot of classic art in there, and Jordan came across this picture. Now, if you zoom in on that a little bit, you can see that it apparently looks an awful lot like me. Even Marcy, my wife thought, that is actually a pretty good likely resemblance. Of course, the chance of me being a someone who was an emissary to the Pope back in 1650s, very, very remote. Yes. But Cam Cornelius took one look at this and had to do something with it.
Oh no.
So,
He's got too much time.
Yes. This just shows you that people do have way too much time on their hands. But I'm glad Jordan had a good time at the Getty Museum as he gets used to Los
It
Angeles.
could have been worse. It could have been Torquemada.
That's true. You can't talk him out of anything. But anyway, but right now it's time for...
And now, the VoiceOver Extra VOBS News, the latest and most comprehensive voiceover industry news. Brought to you live.
Alrighty, here's the news. How to self-direct. Who are you anyway? We mean, who are you when you read a script? And who are you talking to? And why should your listeners care what you have to say? For that matter, why are you opening your mouth? All these questions and more are crucial for you to answer before you start recording in your own voiceover booth. It's what will lead you to expertly direct yourself in the reading of any script. Now, a little while back, voiceover pro Kim Handysides of Canada was our VOBS special guest. And tonight, Kim shares pointers on self-directing in a new article on VoiceOver Extra. Now, the task can be daunting, playing the dual roles of actor and director, says Kim. But here's how to ace it. First, orient yourself with who, why, and where questions, in addition to the questions we mentioned earlier. You'll want to ask yourself, what do you want to get out of the interchange? For instance, are you helping a loved one deal with cancer? Or maybe directing an auditorium full of IT peeps to their seats for an award ceremony? All right, and of course, know why your listeners should care about what you say. Next, sift through the script to determine what text or phrases in the script will make the most difference to your listeners. For instance, can you help save them money or stay safe or to get ahead? Emphasize that. Now, in the article, Kim also discusses ways to be creative and, also importantly, how to separate the creative actor in you from the inner critic. For all of Kim's advice, visit voiceoverextra.com, that's XTRA, and look for this article featured on the homepage. In fact, visit VoiceOver Extra daily. It's free with many hundreds of voiceover how-to articles and resources. And that's the news. So, George.
Hey, everybody.
All right.
Just making sure everything sounds 5 by 5. How are we sounding tonight?
5 by 5.
Nice.
All right.
Awesome.
All right. You're joining us from Boulder tonight.
I am joining in from Boulder, Colorado, my home away from home, visiting the lovely Maxine Dunn. It's really fun being here. And I appreciate everybody letting me do this remotely. It's really a lot of fun to do it, though. I like the technical challenge.
Yeah. Some nights more challenging than others.
I love it. There's a story I found on a good source for just all audio news in general called prosoundweb.com. And this story is kind of, a lot of them are not germane to voiceover, but this one definitely is pretty cool. And I think you guys might get an interest in. It's called 4 Good Reasons for Hanging Your Microphone Upside Down.
Yeah.
While it looks very cool, there really was a method to the madness for placing it like this. So if you think back to the early days of audio recording with Frank Sinatra, with his amazing U-47, it was always hung upside down. So why? This article by Bobby Owsinski was from July 28th, 2017. He says, everyone has seen the photos of the vintage large diaphragm tube microphone hanging upside down in front of the vocalist, like on this famous photo. That's the one I was just talking about. It looks really cool. There really was a method to the madness for placing it like this. It's not something that's regularly taught in schools or to assistants anymore, since there are fewer commercial studios around. But we teach you guys this stuff. Here are a few reasons that large condenser microphones have been hung like this for a long time. The rationale behind hanging a mic upside down comes from tube mics. The heat rising from the tube can cause the diaphragm to change temperature over time, which will change the sound of the mic. Placing the tube up above the capsule, so it's upside down, will let the heat rise without passing over the diaphragm. Another thing that happens is that the vocalist, or in our case, the voice actor, they can speak slightly upward into the mic, which forces the airway open and encourages a full body voice. We always talk about how important it is to keep your your vocal cords open and not speak down into the microphone. Yeah. You take a deep breath, which forces the airway open and encourages. You take a deep breath and sing or speak a low note. Start with your chin to your chest and slowly lift your head until your chin is about 15 degrees lifted. You can definitely hear a difference. Maybe even more important, the mic can be positioned so the singer or the voice actor is likely or less likely to be directly popping air blasts into the mic. Very, very important. We love to have those plosive blasts go underneath the mic and miss the capsule, because those things go in a straight line right out of your mouth. Maybe even more important, the mic can be positioned so the voice actor is less likely to, is more easily able to actually see their scripts. Another very good reason that we do this. Lastly, the key to all this is a very big, sturdy boom stand, or you will find your mic crashing to the ground sooner or later. Make sure to get the counterweight high in the air so nobody walks into it if you have one of those. Or you could get one of those boom stops, the adjustable boom stop from Harlan Hogan. You can read more from the Recording Engineer's Handbook and other books from our author over at BobbyOwsinski.com. That's BobbyOwsinski.com. So go check that out.
Must be from Buffalo.
Yeah, maybe. But I've heard that it was about the heat of the microphone, but it's cool to read, a guy who's got many years in the business reinforcing that, to hear that. But lots of good reasons to hang it upside down.
Well, I mean, it just totally justifies everything we've been saying all along about this. Of course, the thing about the tube is, that's probably relevant if you have a tube-powered mic, which there still are out there. But most of the good Neumanns are now transformerless, so you really don't need to have a tube, so it doesn't really matter. But still, having it, at eye level, which is ear level, essentially, and talking underneath it, you're going to be able to not, you can say Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers all day long, and you're not going to get any plosives. And probably not even need a spit screen or a pop screen. So
I think so too. Do you ever want to take the mic? Let's say here's the capsule hanging down. Do you find it helps to, I'll do it sideways for the profile view.
Okay.
Tip the mic ever so slightly backwards so it's pointing down. Actually, look at this. Here's
the way Maxine has it.
Yes. Do you see that? The TLM 103 right here is on a slight angle, and it's so that the capsule is pointing down, more this way. Toward her mouth. Right. Do you find that helps? Do you do it that way?
I sound good on anything, so it doesn't matter. But I've been doing it that way for the last 15 years. And, and when we teach people, we tell them, look, hang it upside down, because when you have it in front of you, you're going to get plosives, and you've got to look to the side. So you have a tendency to talk a little bit off axis. So hang it upside down.
Even if it's
I will say occasionally I keep the mic completely vertical, not pointed down.
Yeah.
If the person is really sibilant, because the sibilance, the sweet spot of the mic, the center of the mic is the most sensitive to the sibilance. And so if it's pointing maybe above them and not right at the mouth, that can help.
Right. Yeah. Or find a better mic that doesn't quite pick up as much sibilance.
Right.
All right.
Cool. That's it for me.
All right. Well, we've got a lot more coming up. We have a couple of questions to deal with and make sure that you guys are well educated. Not that wasn't incredibly educational. And we'll be right back here on VoiceOver Body Shop. John Kuehne and Randy Brown are our guests tonight. Stay tuned.
What's a Vizzie visual voice demo, and why do you need one? A Vizzie takes your audio-only voice demo and wraps a video around it. The audio track is your voice demo. The video track tells your story and reinforces your brand. And why do you need a Vizzie? Well, what do people see when they're listening to your demo now? Your voice demo may sound terrific, but if your prospect gets distracted, they may not even remember hearing it. By engaging both their senses, sight and sound, your chances of getting noticed and remembered go way up. Besides, when your demo shows up as a video, you're instantly going to stand out from the crowd of voice talents whose demos are nothing but MP3 files that go in one ear and out the other. Your voice demo never looked so good as it will when it's a Vizzie demo. Book your Vizzie Visual Voice Demo today at VizzieDemos.com.
If you're looking for the very best, most comprehensive voiceover training, it's at vo2gogo.com, where you're trained personally and individually by David H. Lawrence XVII to create a successful and profitable voiceover practice. But if you go to vo2gogo.com right now, you're going to be somewhat temporarily disappointed. Why? Well, for the first time since 2006, David's raised the monthly subscription fee for Vo2Go Pro classes and workouts from $200 a month to $250 a month. And the Pro Plus, which adds 3 produced VO demos to your training package, went from $400 to $450. What a guy, huh? Well, still, it's a bargain for what you get in either Pro or Pro Plus. Well, George and I looked at that, and we couldn't stand for it. We came down hard on Mr. Lawrence. And I guess we were pretty intimidating because David's agreed to give only to you, the VOBS viewer, 2006 level pricing. Just $200 per month for Pro and $400 per month for Pro Plus. Go to vo2gogo.com/VOBS. And if you choose Pro or Pro Plus, use the coupon code VOBS at checkout. The coupon code to use is VOBS, and that'll save you $600 per year over current prices. Of course, you can save that now if you go to Pro Complete, but that's only for really dedicated talent who want to unlock the entire 36-class course and mow through it all at once, getting started all that much faster. Now, this offer is only good for a limited time. If you've decided you want to move your voiceover career to the next level, Vo2Gogo is the comprehensive voiceover training you need. Visit vo2gogo.com/VOBS and use the coupon code VOBS to save $600. Act now and take your voiceover work to a higher level. That's vo2gogo.com/VOBS.
Having dinner tonight? How about having some VO too?
Voiceover Body Shop.
Have some voiceover with your dinner tonight on Voiceover Body Shop, 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific.
Are we at -4 dB? We're at -4 dB on VOBS.
Before time began, there was VOBS.TV. Watch or else.
Learn the latest in voiceover technology, business, and good old-fashioned acting.
I really like your bracelet. It's awesome.
Hey, Paul, where did you get that watch?
That's really cool.
And a hamburger with no cheese, please.
Every Monday, 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific, only on VoiceOverBodyShop.com.
Learn the latest in voiceover technology,
business,
and good old-fashioned acting.
Hey, Paul, I really like your suit. Where did you get it? It looks good on you.
This is VOBS.
And we're back here on
VOBS.
Hey. Yeah. Why are we seeing Randy Brown there? Hi, Randy. How you doing?
I don't know. Hi, Randy.
Hello. There we go. That's much better. All right. Technology.
We're having a lot of fun with technology tonight.
Yes, absolutely. It's, anyway. So we got a couple of questions tonight from anonymous sources, apparently. It says, first question is I'm trying to treat my closet. What's the best material to use? Well, if it's a closet, as many clothes as possible is possibly the best way to treat a closet. I had this old joke that somebody was, I said, use your closet. And a couple weeks later, he calls me back and he goes, it sounded great, but all of a sudden it didn't. I said, did you send something to the cleaners? And he, oh yeah, I sent a down jacket to the cleaners. I'm like, and it's going to affect the acoustics in there. But if you have a good walk-in closet, and you've got a lot of clothes hanging in there, just put your mic about a foot away from that, and you will find that actually does quite a job of diffusing the sound. Probably better than some panels and stuff. Now you can. Yeah. What are some other things they can use in a pinch?
the reason why, all those clothes hanging in your closet are so amazing is they're clothing, all the cotton and wool and everything. This stuff's really dense. It's really heavy. So that heavy denseness of the material, wallpaper a room with 2-inch thick foam.
Yep.
It just can't absorb the lower frequency range. And I'm not talking about like bass guitar stuff. I'm talking about mid to low range, the meat, the heart of the voice range.
Like my voice.
Exactly. That 2-inch thick foam can't do much below 500 hertz at all. So that stuff is allowed to just keep bouncing around the room. But if you hang a bunch of clothes in there, that's almost 2-inch, that's almost a 2-foot thick layer of material hanging off the wall. And it's incredibly good at absorbing low frequency.
Depending on what size you are, of course.
Yeah, so exactly. And if you wear mostly chiffon, it's probably not going to help.
Yeah, it'll work, but not quite as effectively.
Exactly. So yeah, and that's the thing. So it works really well. And I've had people say, "I want you to treat my closet," and they say, "I've taken everything out of the closet. You're ready. You're all ready to go." And I'm like, "Okay, well, let's start by putting it all back." And I'm going, so I mean, you can start from scratch with an empty closet. It's just going to be a lot more work and expense to deal with it. You're going to need material on the walls. You're going to need bass traps in the corners,
in the ceiling,
to absorb that low mid stuff on the ceiling as well. Yeah, stuff on the ceiling is often needed. If you don't have enough absorption everywhere else, especially if the floor is wood. If you have a wood floor closet, kind of the rule of thumb with treating the ceiling or not, it often has to do with what's the floor.
That's true.
If the floor is carpeted, then you don't often have to put something on the ceiling, because something that would bounce off the ceiling will get absorbed somewhat by the carpet and vice versa. If you don't have that on the floor, then you need to treat the ceiling. You need to have some absorption on the ceiling.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. I have discovered, I made this amazing discovery because I'm a club member at Harbor Freight. They sell these great moving blankets there for like less than $10. You can get yourself like an 84 by 72 foot inch blanket, and also hang those on the walls. And those make really good diffusers. I mean, I've made a couple of very small closets sound like some of the bigger studios around here, much to their chagrin. So that's a good choice. But don't use bed foam. A lot of people use that one. Great for preventing bed sores, but not very good at absorbing sound properly.
No, it's not dense enough.
No, it isn't.
It's not dense enough.
It's not chemically manufactured to do that. It's manufactured to keep grandma comfortable.
Exactly. Dan, have you ever acoustically treated a bathroom?
I've seen it done. Not very well.
Andrew, I don't know if you got that video that I linked. Did you manage to get that video?
Yep.
Oh, roll that bean footage.
So I'm giving a tour here of. Do you guys still get my audio?
Yeah.
This is a tour of a studio in Longmont, Colorado, called Wind Over the Earth. Look at that bathroom.
It's got panels.
Is that awesome or what?
Wow.
These guys, the guy that put this studio together, his name's Mark. Last name I will get you in the show notes because I can't remember right now. Sorry, Mark. Every conceivable space in this facility to be used. So that bathroom is untreated, so it can be an echo room or an echo chamber. So he's got 2 bathrooms, one treated, one not. And then, of course, he's got the requisite wall of guitars, wall of vintage amplifier. It is an absolutely gorgeous studio. I mean, just beautiful, and it sounds beautiful too. But I just thought the bathroom was the coolest bathroom I've ever seen. And the panels hung in that bathroom, by the way, those are made out of more of a fiberglass material, or maybe something called rock wool. That's Mark, by the way, and he's showing us the inside of their control room. It's a combination of absorption and diffusion. That wall behind at the back of the room that's covered in wood, that's called a diffusion panel. It's designed not to absorb sound, but to scatter it all over the place.
Yeah, you'll see that in concert halls and stuff like that.
Yeah. And believe it or not, either side of that diffusion panel, you see the shelving with trinkets. Actually, those are all cameras. those are all part of the acoustics. Those all scatter sound. And if the more
behind this drop ceiling too,
cluttered
and that's all just
your space is in your home. So if you have an office at home with lots of bookshelves with lots of books, that is awesome diffusion. It just breaks up all of the sound waves that would normally continue to propagate and bounce around the room.
So if you're sitting
You can cut out of that, Andrew. I just wanted to show some of those cool acoustical treatments, but that's not what most people are going to do in a home studio, because in order to take advantage of diffusion like that, it does have to be a pretty large room.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem to work that great in really small walk-in closets or whisper rooms. But I'm still I want to experiment with it. I might get myself a hold of a diffuser and see if it is helpful in a small room. But mostly I find all we want is absorption. We just want to absorb and suck up all the echo and reverb and resonance and get a nice dry sound. That's the goal.
Yep. And it's not hard to accomplish. And got to also remember, nobody needs to see how the sausage is made. They only have to hear it. So if you got a lot of ugly clothes hanging in your closet, who cares? As long as you sound good.
That's right.
All right. Well, we've got first we have to do our shameless promotion piece here, and that is if you need help with your home studio, if you want to learn it from the ground up, if you've got problems, if you're moving and you're putting yourself into a new place, there's only two guys you need to talk to, and you're looking at them. If you want to get a hold of me, all you have to do is email me at dan@danleonard.com, no O, or go to homevoiceoverstudio.com. I do house calls, but so do you.
That's right. I do house calls as well, and I work all over the web. And you can get a hold of me through edgestudiotechnology.com. You can click the Get Help button at the very top, or Get George, actually, and that'll take you right to my booking page. But there is a whole phalanx of services on there, different ways I can help you out.
A phalanx. That's a military term. Yes. All right.
Going, George.
All right. Well, okay. Well, that's going to do it for that section of Voiceover Body Shop tonight. John Kuehne, Randy Brown from Vizzie Demos are going to join us in just a minute, so stay tuned. We'll all be right back.
Are you confused about how to set up and maintain a professional quality voiceover studio? No wonder. The information out there is mostly mythology. This is the best microphone to use. You'll have to have a preamp. You need a soundproof booth. This software is the best. Your audio must be broadcast quality. Consult with someone who knows the truth. Someone who's been there, in the trenches, doing voiceover for over 30 years. Someone with unparalleled experience with voiceover studios, who's worked with hundreds of voice actors and designed hundreds of personal studios. He knows how to teach and cares about your success. In one of the harshest environments known to voiceover, your home. Dan Leonard, the Home Studio Master. Separate myth from fact and get a handle on your personal voiceover studio. Contact the Home Studio Master at homevoiceoverstudio.com. Drop off a specimen of your dry audio for a free analysis.
Let's talk a little bit about connecting to other studios remotely if you're a voice actor. The best tool out there right now, been around for a long time now and is better than ever, is Source Connect. It's made by our friends over at sourceelements.com. Their newest version, their most current version, it's Source Connect 3.9. And they have an amazing feature in there now called Source Stream, and it's baked right in. It's just part of the service. As long as you have a support contract, you can use Source Stream. And what that does is, if you're in a hotel room somewhere where the internet isn't allowing a signal to come in and it's getting in your way, then this system will automatically kick in and reroute the system back, reroute your audio through the Source Connect server and get you through firewalls and all sorts of network problems. It's an amazing technology. As long as both folks are on 3.9 or newer and have a support contract active with Source Elements, Source Stream will work. So that's pretty amazing technology. You don't have to have any extra skills. You just have to turn it on. You don't have to have an iLock USB key either. So I just want people to know about that. People thinking about using Source Connect, if having an iLock key was in the way, that was a barrier for you, no longer. If you want to go give it a try, go over to source-elements.com, sign up for a 15-day free trial, and get it up and running. And stay tuned for videos on there. You might see a familiar face doing the explainer videos on their website. Thanks again, Source Elements. We appreciate your support. We'll be right back, right after this.
In a world of audio, two men knew what they were doing, or at least they have you convinced. They put the BS in VOBS.TV.
Thanks for joining us once again for another episode of Voiceover Body Shop. Every Monday, 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific.
Voiceover Body Shop. I love when they talk BS about VO.
And we are back here on Voiceover Body Shop, and it's time to introduce our two guests, one here in studio and one in Atlanta, Georgia. John Kuehne, welcome to the show. All right, nice to see you. It's
great to be here.
All right, where are we going to throw Randy here? You're going to have to throw him in the middle there somewhere, I think. There we go. Oh, that's George. Now. Randy, say something.
Oh, it's me. I'm
there
here.
He is. Yeah, all right. A technological marvel.
Amazing.
Yeah. Well, you guys are both voice talents, right?
Yes.
And
Correct.
How long have you been doing it?
Well, in amidst the 25-year hiatus, I did it for about 15 years. So, and been back into it now about 3 years.
Okay. So. And Randy, what about you?
I guess you'd have to go back to the 1970s for my first time being hired as a voice talent, doing all the color tile spots all across the country for a few years.
Yeah, nothing more fun than doing furniture store spots, like year after year after
home
year.
improvement stuff. Yeah,
yeah, using the same jingle constantly. At Country Manor Gallery, time it just right. You got to get the donut right. Anyway, so you both came out of broadcasting, and but now you're doing voiceover. And what kind of stuff do you specialize in?
Wow, in this business, anything that will come your way.
Anything that pays the bills, right? Okay.
That's right. Anything that walks in the door, quite frankly. You want me to read it, I'll read it. It's no problem.
50 Shades of Dorian.
50 Shades of Dorian Gray.
Yeah, okay.
There we go.
All right. Randy, what about you? What kind of work you've been doing lately?
Well, I'd say about 98% of the work that I do is radio station imaging work. I'm the guy with all those crazy lines like, the best mix of the 80s, 90s, and now, or the news watch never stops, or whatever that thing is. That's
cool.
What I do.
Yeah. So are you like on call, or is that keep you busy, or?
Well, it keeps me fairly busy. I would love to be a little busier. That's why we're kind of doing this Vizzie thing, because I do have some time on my hands. But there have been spells in my career that I've been extremely busy. I've had, I guess, at one point as many as 60 or 70 stations that I was working at one time. And, they don't send stuff every day. They'll usually send 2 or 3 pages a month. Some of them that are more aggressive with their imaging will send a couple of pages a week. I've got one client that'll send me 1 or 2 pages every day, but that's kind of that's the exception. So, it keeps the lights on, and I've for the last, I get bored easily, and honestly, about 15, 16 years ago, I started dabbling in video production. It was during a down period. I actually had first moved to Atlanta not to do voiceover, but I was a play-by-play voice of PGA Tour golf on network radio. And then I went to Chattanooga for a couple of years and ran a production house for a big broadcast group that had radio stations all over the country. I came back to Atlanta and signed back up with the PGA Tour group to do their play-by-play once again out of a studio in Atlanta. We didn't even travel to the tournaments. We did it all with the TV network satellite backhaul. And when they went belly up, I was left with, I saw a big chunk of my income go poof in one afternoon, and I decided, well, I'm going to have to figure out another way to get some money coming in. I had a little bit of voiceover work that I'd sort of cultivated, but I decided to start dabbling in video. I sort of fell in love with the whole creative process of doing video, and started producing video biographies of people, and that just sort of grew. And over time, I tried to find a way to produce videos for radio stations, basically so that they would have a little story to tell when their salespeople go out on the street, and they could have little station composites and things like that with a video story to tell along with the sound of the radio station.
Right.
And over time, that concept sort of morphed, and I started producing. I guess the first time I did it was about 2007. I produced a video demo of my audio work doing radio imaging. And it ended up on my website. I got a lot of compliments about it, but I didn't really think twice about it. It was just sort of a way for me to have a demo that sort of set me apart from other voice talents. I didn't know of any voice talents that were doing radio work or audio only voiceover work that had videos for demos. And so, years passed, and a few years ago, I decided this is a lot of work. For the longest time, I just sort of left that one demo up there. And of course, I updated my MP3 demos, but, eventually I decided, all right, if this is such a great idea, I'm going to convert all of my demos on my website. I had one for all the different radio formats. And so I produced them all that way. And then a couple of years ago, John was in town for Voiceover Atlanta. And John, I'll let you pick up the story from there, because you kind of had to drag me kicking and screaming the rest of the
Yeah, really. How'd you get dragged into this?
Well, I tell you, it was funny because I was, Randy and I have been friends for 40 plus years, I think.
He was a request line groupie.
Yeah, I was. That's absolutely right. I was a groupie, and so we were over at his house, and he was showing me his voiceover demos, his demos that he had done for his own demos, and I thought, Randy, this is the coolest thing I've ever seen on the planet. I said, I want one of those things. And he says, well, I'm not really sure I want to do that. He says, it kind of sets me apart. I said, well, I'll pay you. I'll pay you big money to do it. I said, we're going to spend a ton of money on our demos. I think everybody's going to want one of those. I want one of those. They're way cool. So he said, well, okay, I'll do one for you. So he did. And I said, you know what? I'll bet you anything I'm not the only VO guy on the planet that's going to want to do this or want to have one of these things. So that's how Vizzie Demos was born, sort of. It was I kind of drug him into, everyone else is going to want one of these things, and we should do it for other people. I said, well, okay. If you think so.
This sounds like a fabulous business plan.
I like Eeyore. If you say so.
If you say so, okay. Anyhow, so, we try to figure out a great name, something that would be catchy, and because it's a visual thing, so we thought visual Vizzie something, and came up with that, and it was kind of fun. It was just,
there was a lot of back and forth strategizing about how to, what this thing ought to look like. And, before you knew it, we had the concept together, and then it was just a matter of, coming up with a way to do a price structure on it, how we would present it to voice talents. And actually, to be honest with you, although your audience, of course, is comprised of voiceover people, my background coming into voiceover was from radio. And my original concept for this product was sort of a radio idea. And what I finally concluded during this strategizing process is that if this idea works for voiceover talents who send their demos out or put their demos up on their website or what have you, why wouldn't it work for radio personalities, disc jockeys, talk show hosts, whatever?
Especially good-looking ones.
Sending their air checks out, looking for jobs at other radio stations. And then once I got to that point, I realized that, well, it also works for stations that would want to showcase their on-air talent in a short little video to put up on their website. So as we've launched this thing, it's sort of taken on two personalities. There's the voiceover Vizzies and the radio Vizzies. And basically, they parallel one another in terms of what they are, the different levels that we do them. But obviously, one is geared for voice people and one is geared for radio.
Well, let's talk a little bit about the demo market, because it seems like everybody's producing demos now. You know, and you know, a lot of high production, a lot of directing, all sorts of things that go into it. What you're doing is you're taking stuff that may already exist from one of these places and essentially enhancing it, or just giving what is the thing that you're giving it that's going to give it a little bit more emphasis.
So what was that company, BASF, that used to advertise, we don't make your car run.
We just make it sound better.
Run better.
Yeah.
Remember those?
Yeah,
it's
sure.
Kind of like that. We take your already existing voice demo, which you've spent, I was blown away when
Too
I started
much.
finding out how much people are spending to get their voice demos produced. I've been producing my own for decades, but I don't know, maybe I should be spending $1,500, $1,800 to get them or more produced. But once they've got the audio demo, what we're doing is we're enhancing it. The concept is real simple, really. When people listen to your voice demo, what do they see? They see a little player on screen, and that's it. Maybe they see Shirley from accounting standing at their office door saying, there's a party down in the conference room. Are you coming? And are they even going to notice that they listened to your demo? Whereas if they are watching your demo as well as hearing it, you've engaged them with two senses. They're more likely to remember you, and you'll stand out from the crowd because you'll probably be the only person that sent a visual voice demo.
Yeah. Now, but people have, I think the thing that we see in the market now is that if you're a voice actor and you're versatile, which some are and some aren't, if you can do a lot of different stuff, you should probably have a demo for just about every category you do. I mean, you should have, everybody wants to have a commercial demo. Everybody wants to have a long format narration demo, and a business to business demo, and anime, doing animation, video games. Should it be done all on video, or is this like, is there something specific I think that Vizzie Demos can really do will help you stand out from the crowd in any specific area?
So let me answer. I'll answer it quickly. Clearly I started with my commercial demo because everybody does. They just showcase your commercial demo. Then the next thing that I wanted him to do for me was I had done a bunch of narration stuff, corporate narration things or explainer videos, etc., that were produced already. And so in order to create a little narration demo or a e-learning demo or corporate narration, we just took those videos and he put those together, and now that makes a new demo. And it actually has, now you have the video with it, and it builds a story around that created demo, because I didn't have.
What's different about the Vizzie, though, just to embellish what he's just said, it is true that what I did for him was take all these different components that he had, all these different videos, and basically put together a montage video of all of those explainer videos, corporate videos, etc., just like you would on an audio demo, putting the montage together. But then the Vizzie is presented by it's not when you play the Vizzie demo, you don't just see this montage of videos. You see the montage of videos set in an inset on the screen, and elsewhere on the screen you see John Kuehne Voiceover's logo. You see, I don't remember if we put his face on it or not. I know that there's a series of testimonials that come up on screen from people he's worked with, talking about how wonderful it was to work with him. It's got his contact information. I don't remember what else it had up there, but there's more than just the montage itself. It's taking his work and branding it. Mm-hmm. See, there's really two concepts, and we've gone back and forth in the strategizing. There are people out there who do video demos, taking audio work, and they put these demos together. And if there is a McDonald's spot, some audio of a McDonald's spot, they'll put up the golden arches on screen. And if they're talking about, Nissan trucks, you'll see the Nissan logo. Or
that sounds kind of lazy.
The thing of it is that I'm not interested in having my demo sell McDonald's hamburgers. My demo is supposed to sell me, right? The audio was just happened to be for McDonald's, or it just happened to be for this other company. And if it was used in a television commercial, I'm sure they've got their own visuals that they put with it. But my demo is not here to sell cars. It's here to sell me. And that's what Vizzie demos are all about. They're about your brand, taking your work and packaging it in a way that sells you.
Yeah. Why don't we take a look at a couple? I know you brought a few with you here. We have one for Adam Greenberg, and then one you guys did for me, which is maybe a little bit different. Let's show the Adam Greenberg one first there, Andrew.
Avocados from Mexico is the research leader with proprietary food service research, as well as leading consumer, shopper, and Hispanic studies. Transform how you provide high-quality, efficient care with HP Mobility Solutions designed for uninterrupted and simplified workflows. We've worked with over 40 retailers and manufacturers and look forward to continued partnerships in years to come. Let's keep making smart energy choices. Discover how thousands of people are fitting into old and new things. If you have 30 or more pounds to lose and your weight is affecting your health, see how the lap band system can fit into your life. Let us be part of your story. Toyota of Tri-Cities. The wow starts now. Better oral health is the goal. Get there faster with the Paratus Perio test. It's chairside diagnostics. Prepared now.
Yeah.
3, 2, 1.
Clearly, it shows what somebody's voice sounds like with the video, and that is really essentially what I think is missing from a lot of people's careers. Is what is it that we do? We primarily narrate video, unless you're doing radio commercials or something along those lines.
Right.
But how does your voice go with the video? How is it that it enhances? I've always been of the belief of, if you watch a commercial, visually you should be able to tell what's going on. And if you turn off the picture and just listen to the sound, you should be able to tell exactly what's going on. And if it does both those things, then it's a good commercial or a good TV show or something along those lines.
Right.
But as voiceover, it's, that's an integral part of it, and it's got to fit just right with the video.
Right. So. And these, I'm not sure if you turned down the sound and just watched the video, I don't think it would tell the story that we're trying to tell.
Well, not with your demos, because you're trying to highlight people's voices.
Right. And if you weren't watching it, you wouldn't get the branding. You would hear the work that this voice talent does, but you wouldn't get the branding. So Vizzies, in a way, kind of break that rule in that you kind of have to see both to get the full effect, because unlike a TV commercial where the video track complements the audio track and vice versa. They go together. They're made for each other. With a Vizzie, we're taking usually, and now in this case, we were taking videos, but on most Vizzies, we're taking audio tracks and we're putting video with them that doesn't really go with the audio. Like I said, we're not putting the car on screen that you were selling in the car spot that you read, because that's not what we're here to sell. And in that way, this is a little different. Now, this product that you just saw is what we call the Vizzie Vista. It's the highest end Vizzie that we do, where we take video components that you have, in this case, all of these commercials that Adam had voiced. And I guess, I'm not sure, John, you put this one together. Did this one have some explainer video components in it?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes,
so we basically took some of his video elements and combined them into this demo, and then we wrapped the visuals around it to brand it for him. You know, got his contact information. It's got some selling points that fly on and off the screen. And there's just enough movement to make it visually interesting without distracting too much from the commercials.
Yeah. Let's take a look at mine now. You guys were kind enough to do one for me. And I didn't throw you my commercial demo. I threw you, some of the industrial stuff that I do, right? And some of the charitable stuff. So let's roll that one and get that one.
If I may, let me preface this by just saying this was a little different than the Adam Greenberg one, because Adam didn't have a montage of videos. John built that montage from all these components. In your case, you already had this montage built. So I treated this more like what we call a Vizzie volume, where it just so happened that you had it put together as a video, but it could just as easily have been an audio piece, and I just added some visuals to go along with it, once again, to brand it as yours.
Okay, well, let's take a look at that. Go give that a roll.
We believe that everyone has the right to make great products, and every great product starts with a vision, a desire to improve what's been done before, a great idea. Whatever industry you work in, only by exploring every possibility will you create a truly exceptional design. Over the past 3 decades, increasing data volumes and growing demand for limited IT resources have caused huge server sprawl and database proliferation in data centers across the globe. This isn't just impacting the performance of IT and database environments, it's also making them much harder and more costly to maintain. Look around. The past 20 years has perhaps seen a bigger transformation than all the rest of history combined. As educators, as parents, as leaders, what is our position on all this change? Where can we turn to for direction? How are we meant to respond to unprecedented situations and challenges?
Looks like this group is trying to help people understand the risks of the old abandoned Blurglatanium mine at the edge of town. But wait! Look who's here! Why, it's Gary! Poster document for clear communication principles. Wow, Gary sure knows how to speak their language. And before you write next, take some time to get to know your audience.
Yeah, I guess it helps if, like Randy, you have some experience with working with video.
Just a bit.
It always surprises me that a lot of people who are doing voiceover don't understand that video is essentially the same thing when you're working in a timeline and stuff. And it's just like, plug it in, right, and save it using the right program and stuff. Yeah. So if you've got a montage like that can save you.
Is that it's not much different than audio.
Right.
It's all timeline based. That's right.
Yeah. Well, and I think that the one thing that I've noticed that some people, the mistake they make is they will put their video montage that has, a 5-minute piece on their website. Well, nobody's going to watch 5 minutes of your, whatever. You want to cut it down so that you have pieces of it that you can put all of it together. That way, then people hear you do different stuff and you're not just trying to watch one video, or they'll string 4 or 5 of those together. Well, no one's going to watch all of that. Not someone that's interested in you. They're not, they're just not for the most part.
Yeah.
So in order to, really build a mini montage demo, you got to cut it up a little bit, get some sweet spots out of each of those things, and then put, like you saw with yours, put the wrapper around it. So you saw you had your name, your logo, and et cetera, all the way down there. And then you had pieces across the bottom that were selling you. Right. So it's just really a commercial about you is really the point.
Yeah. Makes complete sense to me. Anyway, if you've got a question for John Kuehne or Randy Brown about Vizzie Demos, all you got to do is type it down in the chat room. And I know Jack Daniel is sitting right over here to my left, and he is recording all of these questions now. So get those in now, because we're going to take a break, and we'll be back with these 2 fine gentlemen right after these messages.
Here's a question for you. Do you know what your audition to booking ratio is? As in, how many auditions does it take before you book a job? How about your pipeline? Do you know which jobs you've booked? Which ones you've sent to the client for approvals? How about which ones you've invoiced but haven't been paid yet? Do you know how much you booked this month compared to last month or last year at the same time? Yeah, these questions might make your head spin. You might say, I'm a voice actor, an artist. I don't have a head for business, and I don't want to spend a bunch of time trying to figure out how to keep track of auditions, bookings, who hasn't paid me yet, and when was the last time I booked with that guy anyway? That's why we built VoiceOverview.com, a simple way to track, manage, and grow your voiceover business. Because after all, it is a business. VoiceOverview was built by voice actors for voice actors. Check it out today and start tracking your voiceover business. VoiceOverview.com, your voiceover business made simple.
VoiceOver Essentials. Get professional recording studio sound at home or when traveling with our 4th generation Portabooth Pro. It's the affordable and space-efficient portable alternative to an expensive human-sized vocal booth. What does it feature? A unique sonic stage auditorium design. Just 7 pounds, but rugged 600 denier fabric construction, heavy-duty travel bag with exterior storage pocket and padded shoulder strap. Professional recording studio Orlex Studio foam covers all of the interior surfaces. And it has 2-way zippered buttons and rear slots for shotgun mics, cables, and boom arms. Anti-sway strap and booth lifter for boom arm mounting. Pre-slit bottom foam provides a solid base for desktop mic stands. Articulated script clip LED light with 2 mounting pouches. 4 diagonal corner straps for rigidity. Assembles in just seconds. Just close 2 zippers. Fleece audio hood for extra noisy environments. Travels as checked or carry-on luggage. Just $349 with free 2-day shipping on Amazon. Alrighty. Harlan Hogan has all this great stuff at his website, voiceoveressentials.com. Best way to get there, well, you could go just type in voiceoveressentials.com, or you could go to the bottom of our page like you do every week and buy all his stuff. Click on the picture of Harlan Hogan talking into his Portabooth Pro, and that will take you directly there. You can get anything that has to do with voiceover at voiceoveressentials.com. Harlan Hogan, you're amazing for putting this site together and getting all the best stuff to all of us people out here in voiceover land. Thanks, and we'll be right back.
You're still watching VOBS?
You're watching VOBS.tv. I don't know why. It's crazy what they do here. I think I'm going to go somewhere else and have a cheese sandwich.
Man, there's one show that I can't miss. It's called VOBS. And a lot of people are like, VOBS, what is that? That is BS about VO. And I love VO. How much BS is going to be in this show? There's only one way to find out, baby.
And we are back with John Kuehne and Randy Brown from Vizzie Demos. And George is back with us. Having a good time there in Boulder?
Very enjoyable. We're having a great time listening, and Maxine has helped kick off the questions. We got a lot of great ones. When you guys are ready to visit the audience questions, just let me know.
You're on.
Oh, we want to go right into it. Awesome.
Yes.
Okay. First audience question. This one comes in from none other than Maxine Dunn. And for John and Randy, I do voiceover work with a native British accent as well as a standard American accent. Do you have a recommendation as to how many demos we should have? What's your client average of how many demos they have?
So I think in general, if you have, you're able to do an accented demo and it's all accented, seems to me like you want to do that. But if you know, I mean, I don't do accents, so I'm not much of a authority on that. But yeah, if you want to do a demo that specializes in an accent, then I would definitely recommend doing a specialized Vizzie with your demo that has audio with a different accent.
I think the simple answer to this question is, I don't know that you would want Vizzies to dictate that you do it any differently than you're already doing it. If you have two separate demos, one with a British accent, one with an American accent, I would think that you'd want to have two Vizzies. Now, for those who are, budget minded, as it were, you might do like a composite demo. We were talking earlier about, when Dan mentioned that most voiceover talents have a commercial and an industrial, and they have, books and all the different genres that they're in. I can see how, if you're in a lot of different areas, you might not want to spend the money to have a Vizzie for each one. It might make sense to do like a composite representation. My original concept on this, frankly, was that the Vizzies would be more like sort of a greeting presentation that people would be met with when they first entered your website. And then as they got into it deeper, they might see all the various different specialty areas and listen to all the various specialty demos. If somebody wants to get, if they have 6 or 7 different demos and they want to get 6 or 7 different Vizzies, we'd love to take their money. I'm not sure that's the best way to spend it, honestly. I still think that some sort of sizzle reel, if you will, to put on the homepage of the website might make some sense for some people. Now, I've also heard the argument that nobody does those sorts of composite demos anymore, and I know they're pretty rare, but we're talking about a whole different animal here, so it might make some sense. But again, it's really kind of a marketing decision.
Yeah, I mean, it could be a good idea to have a sizzle reel like that, because if nobody else is doing it, then you got something unique and original.
New.
Exactly.
All right. Next question, George.
This dovetails off that. Just because Randy did bring up the price pointing thing, we do want to talk maybe a little bit, if you guys are up for it, about the price points. Do you price it based on length? If you buy multiples, do you get a discount? How do you do that? And is there a special pricing for additional levels of production or special effects?
Sure. Well, the way we've priced it, at least at launch, and who knows, maybe a year from now we'll be in a different place on this, but right now this is what makes the most sense to us. There's 3 different levels of Vizzie, and they are sort of divided by the complexity involved in the production of putting them together. The simplest one to do is what we call the Vizzie Business Card. It's the least expensive. It's $250. And what you get is basically the same visual stays up on screen for the duration of the video. usually a video, most of your demos are going to be 60 to 90 seconds. And I believe that we've got it priced at $250 up to 90 seconds. If you go over 90, then we can talk about a little bit more. But for now, when I say you have the same visual up on screen, I don't mean that it's just a static image. We're always going to build in some sort of motion. It may be a bouncing waveform that goes across the screen in sync to your audio track, or it might be radio waves coming out of a radio tower, or it might be something that the background is going to have some motion, but the message that's on screen, usually it would be something like your name, your contact information, maybe your agency that you're repped by, or, associations you're a part of. Maybe you even have a couple of maybe a slogan, or you've got some sort of a slogan that you're known by, like you're the knowledgeable voice. You might want to put that. You've got your logo with the mustache or whatever it is. That would stay up throughout the duration. That's why we call it a business card, because it's like having a video business card up on screen while they're listening to your demo. The next step up is what we call the Vizzie volume. The Vizzie volume is a little more complex. This is the kind of demo where you'll have what I just discussed, plus you'll have multiple messages that go on and off screen throughout the duration of the video. The background might change a few times. You might have some different graphic tricks that happen, but you're going to have multiple sales messages that show up on screen. We've actually got a couple of Vizzie volumes that we could show you, but the Vizzie volume, the next step up is $375. So you go from $250 to $375 with the Vizzie volume. And then the two that we just showed you that have the video in them, because there's a little bit more involved, because we've had to build a player to get the video to play in, and there's a few other tricks we've got to do. That one's a little more pricey. Plus, he had to put the video montage together. Now, yours, Dan, because you already had that montage built, I probably would have built this one like I would do a Vizzie volume, because I didn't have to do that work.
Hey, Randy, did you send any of the business card so he could play it?
Yeah, he's got some.
Yeah, I got it.
Okay.
Let's play one.
Yeah, do the business card.
Is it yours? Or his? Yeah.
Could have been one of
I don't remember what I sent. Let's see.
Well, hit it and let's see what happens.
Yeah, exactly.
He sees you when you're sleeping. He knows when you're awake. Not Santa. It's BT violating that restraining order. Merry Christmas. It's beginning to sound a lot like Christmas. Durham's Christmas Station. We're celebrating the season with the music that tells the rest of the story. Dear Santa, we were framed. Just think of us as elves. And our gift to you is great holiday music. Due to EPA regulations, Santa will no longer be giving out coal.
Oh, neat. Socks.
So, be as bad as you want to be. This Christmas, say a little prayer for our military men and women, both home and abroad. 'Twas the night before Christmas, and all you could hear was great classic rock and the pop-tops of beer. We figured the best way to stay on Santa's nice list was to do it one song at a time. Silent Night, not a chance. Crank it up. Merry Christmas from 107.3 K-Rock.
All right. Next question comes from Tracy Reynolds.
Vizzie volume.
Oh yes, right. We're gonna show a business card and a Vizzie card in a second here. But Tracy Reynolds asks, does Vizzie Demo users do Vizzie Demo users hand deliver, email, or post to YouTube their Vizzie demos?
Well, that's a great question. So the way that I do it and where most people do it is they will have their Vizzie demo put on their YouTube page. or they can also just host it on their own website.
Right. It makes it easier to post on your website.
That's right, exactly. So but the key is you want to send someone an email link to that video. You don't want to try to be sending a 25 meg file to somebody. You always just want to send them the link to the video. But that's the way that we recommend.
Okay.
Vimeo.
If push comes to shove, we can put it up on our YouTube channel and give them the link where they can embed it on their website if they want to do it.
That makes sense. Next question from Devox, George.
Yeah, this one from Devox, he says, if the average casting client only listens for an average of 7 seconds, what do you or we have to do to get them watching or listening longer? How do we get them to stick around? That's probably $1 million question, huh?
Be awesome in the first 7 seconds.
Yeah, that pretty much makes sense.
And that's actually the point. That this, because you've captured their attention visually, you're more likely to keep watching than you are by just all of a sudden you've got an audio track, and as Randy mentioned earlier, that Cheryl down the hallway is calling you to go to a party in the conference room, the producers, etc. Right. So the other point of this is that think about all the work that we do. A lot of the work that we do, a lot of it is for some kind of visual production, right? Whether it be a e-learning video or it's a corporate narration over a video, something like that. The producers, the people that we're targeting to, those producers are visual people. That's their business. They look at stuff all day long.
Right.
So if you're pitching a producer, you want them to get their visual attention as well as your voice.
Right.
This, obviously that's, the market that we're hitting a lot now is different than if you're just doing radio commercials, right? Big difference. If you're pitching a lot of video producers, which a lot of us, we target production companies and all those kinds of stuff. This is the kind of stuff that those guys are accustomed to seeing, something visual.
Mm-hmm. All right. Next question from Jeremy Burgett.
Yes. What's the feedback been from clients? Asks Jeremy. Is there a model for finding out whether or not clients prefer the audio only or the Vizzie? What's been the feedback you guys are getting?
I'm going to be honest. I think it's a little too soon to tell. We've been doing this. We launched it at VO Atlanta. It's been a little slow in getting started, but we've had some fantastic feedback. Everybody who's seen this concept wants to jump on board. A lot of people are, telling us that they want to get their audio demos redone before they invest the money in doing the video treatment. But the response has been quite good. Actually, John went to the WOVO conference recently. I didn't attend it. I stayed
And you missed out all the fun.
Apparently I did. That's what I hear. But, he could give you a better feedback than I can from what the reaction was there. But we've had really fantastic reaction to it ever since we've rolled it out.
Great. All right. Last question from Maxine.
Yeah, another good one. Do you only create those demos, your Vizzie demos, for experienced voice actors who already have fully produced demos?
Well, we're not offering at this time to produce the audio demos themselves. There's a number of people we can recommend who can do them, but that's not part of the service we're offering right now. I suppose if somebody wanted to talk to me about it, I'd probably talk to them about it. It could be, here, let me twist my arm a little bit. But that's not really what we're offering right now. I mean, the Vizzie demo itself is taking your audio demo and adding video to it. But, we can certainly point you to some great people who do that kind of work.
Cool. All right. Well, gentlemen, it has been a pleasure having you here. You flew all the way to from San Francisco just to be here.
For one day in and out.
You could have driven here in that time.
He's crazy like that.
Anyway,
I would. The only thing I would add is there's also the Vizzie business card. We didn't show that.
We're going to show that.
But if you go to VizzieDemos.com, there are examples of all three levels.
Excellent.
We could show the Vizzie demo card on the way out as we go to the commercial.
Yes, that's what we're going to do. I'm way ahead of you.
Wow.
All right. Well, anyway, so guys, thanks for being with us tonight. And what's the website again?
VizzieDemos.com.
Boy, that makes it easy, doesn't it?
VizzieDemos.com.
All right, we'll be right back. Here's a look at a Vizzie card.
Business card.
Business card, yeah.
John Kuehne.
Nothing gets you going quite like the power of Quaker Oats. Today is going to be epic. Quaker Up. How can a tablet replace your laptop? Start with the best writing experience. Make it incredibly thin. Introducing Surface Pro, the tablet that can replace your laptop. Nothing brings you together like chicken noodle soup from Campbell's. It's amazing what soup can do. Everyone likes to be recognized for doing the right thing. That's why we reward good behavior by offering valuable discounts. Call Travelers today to find out what we can do for you. Logic tells you you can't pound a nail where you can't swing a hammer. So much for logic. Introducing the Craftsman Auto Hammer for a perfectly driven nail every time. The future of the market is never clear. But at T. Rowe Price, we can help guide your retirement savings. T. Rowe Price. Invest with confidence. Wherever our trains go, the economy comes to life. Norfolk Southern. One line, infinite possibilities. Making the most out of every mile. That's why I got a Subaru. Love. It's what makes a Subaru a Subaru.
Hi. That you can hear the clicks from the stock music records, and you hear so much tape hiss that you run to the sink to see if the faucet is running, and the engineer used so much echo on your voice that it sounds like it was recorded in the Grand Canyon, and the scripts seem a bit dated too, advertising the new and improved 1938 Plymouth Road King. Is that what's been troubling you, Bunky?
Well, lift your head up high and take a walk in the sun. Your demo can be killer, too. Just contact Uncle Roy at AtlandProductions.com and book yourself a shiny new killer demo. Show your stick-to-itiveness and show the world you'll never give up, never give up, never give up. That dream.
Alrighty, the VO Dojo is a full training center for voiceover. The Dojo is a full-hearted, pull-no-punches, complete training program designed to guide, support, connect, and accelerate you every step of the way from, to working pro, making sure that you're aligned with the power and possibilities of your voice on the most streamlined and focused path to having everything you need to have the sustained, successful voiceover career you should have. Wherever you are on your voiceover journey, take your voiceover career all the way. And join us this Wednesday for our monthly free Q&A webinar, Ask the Sensei. I'm going to be there because I'm now one of their senseis. It's the first Wednesday of every month at 10 a.m. Pacific time. So what's stopping you? What do you need to do next? What do you need help with? What do you not know that you don't even know? Our team of Sensei Master Teachers who are working pros know the business inside and out because they've been there and are in the trenches just like you. And they've been assembled to give you answers, new ways of thinking through, and the insight and inspiration to get you what is next. It's always just you, but you never do it alone. Sign up now at www.thevodojo.com. That's www.thevodojo.com. We look forward to hearing your voice.
VOBS is still on? Seriously?
You're listening to VOBS.
Yep, this is VOBS, proving anybody can have a show these days.
VoiceOver Body Shop. Learn the latest in voiceover technology. Learn how to get rid of that Voiceover Body Shop, 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific, on VOBS.us.
This is John Bailey, the Epic Voice, and you're watching VOBS.TV, Monday nights at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9:30 Newfoundland.
They are ribbed for her pleasure.
There we go.
All right. We
Hey,
still see
everybody,
Randy.
we're back.
There's George. All right. It's Sensei.
You know how Zoom is. It's voice activated.
Yes. Sensei. This is why I don't do well on Words with Friends. Anyway.
You don't have any.
Mark.
Only kids.
Okay.
Zinga.
Mark
Always
Cashman
kidding.
has now been banned from our clubhouse. Anyway, so that's going to do it for us tonight. We of course, have lots of people to thank. For example, but first we need to tell you who's going to be on next week, don't we?
Who's going to be on
Yes,
next
we do.
week, Dan?
Yes. Well, finally, and she's been incredibly gracious about this. Sarah Jane Sherman will be back here at the Sherman Oaks studio of Voiceover Body Shop, and it's gonna work this time. It's gonna be perfect. She is amazing, and she's a great director and casting director, and that's gonna be a lot of fun. So make sure you don't miss that. And by the way, she's now head of casting at Free Range Animation. So, now you know where to send all your video demos. And August 7th, Karen Saltis will be here, and I guess she's built a mobile studio.
Oh, yeah. I mean, she's done it 2 times.
Oh, right.
She did the first one, and then she made a new one. So she took what she learned from the first time and did it again.
Right.
So this is going to be very interesting. I'm really excited to have her on.
Where's she located? Because otherwise, is she going to roll it into my backyard here? Or
where's she located? Wherever the heck she
wants to be. Okay, that was the whole thing. Who are our donors of the week?
Donors. Well, I've been scraping the donor inbox. Plenty of them coming in. We just got one came in tonight from Tracy H. Reynolds. Thank you,
Thanks, Tracy.
Watching the show tonight, I saw. We've got a donation from Eric Aragoni. Anybody hear that name before? Eric Aragoni.
Good guy.
He was here the first time.
Yeah.
We need to see
Patty
him again.
Gibbons. Patty Gibbons is another one of our regular contributors to the show. Thank you. There, she's a subscriber on our website. Brian Page. Thanks, Brian. Some of these folks have been donating to us for several years now. George Whittam, that's my dad. Thanks, Dad.
What a
Very
guy.
nice. Amanda Fellows. I know. The guys can't stop sending me money. Dad, I moved out. Yeah, I love him. He's a wonderful man. And then also Thomas Pinto. Did you know that Tom Pinto was the creator of Voiceover of Voice Tracks West?
Yes.
That was his studio. I just found that out not too long ago.
And a great guy.
Shelly Avellino Voiceovers. Thanks, Shelly. Another one of our regular contributors. And Trey Mosley. Thanks so much, all of you, for your donations.
Yeah, and we appreciate you watching the show. Also, the opening for the show was voiced by the amazing John Taylor, and George and I have promised to put together a new opening for the show one of these days. Let's see. What's going on with you over at Edge?
Well, EdgeStudioTechnology.com, the featured service of the week. Spin the wheel. Clone a tone. What if you have to match an old recording from a job you did 2 years ago, and you've moved, you've bought new gear and everything? The client comes back and says, I need you to do another 4 paragraphs with the script, and it's going to be edited back in. It's going to go on a re-release of the DVD. It's got to match.
I hate when
What are you going to do?
Yeah.
What are you going to do? It's not easy. So I created the Clone a Tone service. And I will help you dial it in. I'll help you. I'm not going to produce it for you, but what I will do is make sure that you get everything set up correctly to match, and then I'll create the right EQ and whatever it is you need to get that sound to match the finished product that you did 2, 4, 6 years ago. And that's the Clone a Tone service. It's pretty unique, and I know others out there, like somebody mentioned Uncle Roy. He's good at this kind of thing too. He's really good at this. But I've had a request to do that. So Clone a Tone over at EdgeStudioTechnology.com.
All righty. The show logs. If you want to find out every word that was said here, Jack DeGoli is still writing everything down we say and puts it when we post the show to YouTube tomorrow or tonight or whenever it gets up there. And you'll be able to see those notes tomorrow. And thanks to him for doing that. Also, if you can't catch us live, you can always watch the replay on YouTube. But if you like to just listen in your car, like George does, the guy's a podcast freak. All you have to do is go to the favorite place you go to get your podcasts, and you should be able to find VOBS there. But mostly it's Stitcher Radio, iTunes, and ewabs.podbean.com. So easy to find.
That's right. And if you want to find us on podcast form and you just can't find it, let us know where you're looking, and we'll make sure that we get onto that platform wherever it is.
Absolutely.
Also, some of you are listening to the show. Maybe you want to watch the show for a change and be here live with us. We're on live every Monday night at 6 p.m. Pacific time at VOBS.tv, and you can join us in the chat room, a vibrant place where you can ask the guests questions and Dan and I live on the show.
Yeah. And as you can see, you can be live here in the studio. All you have to do is write to us at theguys@VOBS.tv. And that will allow you to communicate with me, and I'll say, yeah, I suppose I can let you in.
We also have a survey. We've had it up for a while, but if you want to give us some feedback, either give us your name or not anonymously. We really, really appreciate your feedback about the show, how many commercials we have, how do you like our products, do you like what we're doing? Please do go fill out the survey. We would really, really appreciate it.
It's a big help. All right, time to thank our sponsors one more time, like our good friends from Vizzie Video Demos.
That's right, Harlan Hogan.
Yeah, Harlan Hogan. Voiceover Extra.
Source Elements.
Yes, VO to Go and Rehearsal App.
Antland's Killer Demos.
And our new sponsors, of course, the VO Dojo and Voiceover View for providing the uninterrupted streaming that you are now seeing. This is a big help. So, we have to thank Marcy for letting us be out here in the garage, and also our
the only place with air conditioning.
And because air conditioning in the house went down. It's like, oh great! So everybody's going to have to sleep in here tonight. That's going to be different. And the dogs, and the bird, and whatever else we can think. And there's 4 of us in the house right now. I don't know where we're going to fit in here.
That's going to be fun.
Yeah, it should be. Also, of course, Jack Daniel for the great job in the chat room tonight. And
Catherine Burden, our producer, who also casts the show for us. Thanks, Catherine.
What a gal. Yeah. What a gal down there in San Diego. And, of course, our amazing floor director who just takes every piece of flagitation we throw at him, Andrew Bushwitz.
Yeah, Andrew.
All righty. Well, that's going to do it for us this week. Oh, Jack DeGoli, of course, for the show notes, but we already thanked him.
And Lee Penny for being Lee Penny.
And Lee Penny for being Lee Penny, because that's who he is. All right. Guys, we know it's not an easy business. There's a lot to learn, and you've got to constantly be learning. And we appreciate you coming here every Monday night and taking all the advice we can give you and bringing you the best guests. So pay attention, take notes, and then you can watch the show over and over and over again. So
how wonderful.
Isn't that amazing? That's technology today and the thrill of video. Anyway, that's going to do it for us. I'm Dan Leonard.
And I'm George Whittam.
And this is Voiceover
Body Shop.
Or VOBS.
Yes.
Have a great week, everybody.
Yeah.
All right, it's VOBS.tv.
VOBS.tv. Or else. Harry.
You're watching VOBS.tv. I don't know why. It's crazy what they do.